Okay, so this week I am on week 5 working on sound. I loaded the read-through guide and watched the little Corona video about audio. Seems pretty straightforward, the difference between sound and streaming, and how sound is less strenuous on your program and doesn't demand as much CPU power. Going into it though, here's the program. I used Demo Event Listener just for practice, and I'm going to reload it. So here it goes. I don't know if you can hear barking sound. Turn up the volume, pump up the volume. Maybe you can hear it. It's playing though. My problem is I was trying to get it to play when I would click on something so I could eventually use it in the app I want to build. However, these are the things I was playing around with right here. Was this function returning it true? I thought maybe I need to add an event listener. I tried incorporating it up here within this section of the sorry, I'm blanking, which is the click and drag, and I just couldn't find it. So I created a table, as you can see up here, for the sound, and then down here is where I tried putting the sound. So I guess here's my question for sound. How do I set this up? And I'll export this or zip it so you can see this code. How do I make it so when I click on an object, I click and release, I guess? I could do it on click or I could do it on release. Either one would be fine. But how do I make it bark in response to that? Is that an event listener? And if so, well, how do I do it? And where do I put things like this in the code? This is where I was running into trouble this week. I was trying to program my code, and I couldn't figure out where things needed to fall inside the code, and Landon was telling me I had things kind of out of order the way the program was calling it. So there's that, and then this week has been actually kind of exciting. Let's go to the app I'm working on. Let's close this. Let's open up the Puppy Playhouse. Oh no, there's an error. Well, that's to be expected. Let's try reloading it so I can. Oh, okay. So here's the balls, and we got them to spawn in this area, which I did last week, and then do that little bounce thing. And thanks to Landon's help, we found out how to only have the red, green, and blue here. So we created this table for 1, 2, and 3, and then he created a local variable, math random 3, so it picks a number between 1 and 3 and then inserts that number into here for each ball. And then as each ball is generated, that random number gets put in, and then it goes and grabs that color. So that was pretty cool. He put it in with this variable, and I'm not really sure what this variable's strengths are. He mentioned it was a better thing to do, because then I could call back to each individual ball when I'm trying to do something with it, like click and drag, which is where I'm at right now on this. I cannot seem to figure out how to get it to click and drag. And as you could see earlier, I had another app up that let me click and drag, and that was from the sample files. And I was trying to convert that over, but I am just kind of at a loss. I was working on it down here to put in, and if you watch, I get an error in line 74. And I'll export this as well, but this is where I'm running into trouble, is how to get the balls to click and drag into a spot. And with as long as this is taking, I'm actually kind of concerned that I won't be able to do the whole scope of the project I wanted, or at least it won't look as fleshed out and finished as I would like. So I guess I should talk to you about that at some point to see what we could manage with what I'm capable of doing. So again, to recap on the sound bits, how do I get sound to react to events and clicks? And for the puppy playhouse that I'm working on, my next goal is to not only be able to get the balls to click and drag, but to, come on, reload. And let's just try relaunching it here. Not only get the balls to click and drag to where I will need them to go, but also to, sorry, it's late and I'm blanking. Drag and go. Oh, I would like to try and keep them from spawning over one another so that they're not on top of each other, if that's possible. It's just a small thing right now, and it really isn't that important to the overall plan, but that's kind of what I was working on. Next week I hope to have the 3 containers and to successfully click and drag and then have the containers register and then remove the balls from the map if it's a correct click, or if it's incorrect to send it back. So that'll be an if, else if sort of statement. Yeah, and that's where I'm at with my project. If you have any advice, I would really appreciate it. Any help, that would be very, very welcomed, since I am kind of really getting confused on how to go about this. I mean, I see it work on other programs where I can click and drag. I just don't know how to convert this and where I'm falling short. So, thank you very much.